Before we begin this video, I just want to apologize for the quality, the sound, the video, the lighting, the literally everything. It is now 2 in the morning and I went to go try to edit some of my video and realized everything was just messed up. There was even some audio from my desktop playing over what I was saying, and just this whole thing was just a dumpster fire. I'm so sorry, guys. I wasn't sure if I should just re-record the whole thing, but I figured I'm just gonna like Frankenstein this thing together, and I just hope you guys like it, and I promise I will make the next video so much better. Just please bear with me with this one. I'm so sorry, but I hope you guys enjoy. You probably won't, but I hope.
Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Hi. Hey. Yes, I know. Before we even get into this, I want to apologize about quite a few things, actually. I apologize you have to stare at my oily skin. I apologize for my horrible run-off makeup. I apologize for the lighting. I apologize that I waited till I decided to get off work and record this after midnight. And I apologize for this fly buzzing around my house. They might be taking up a lot of camera time. But honestly, I'd rather watch this fly buzz around my house than watch Angela for another second. But speaking of Angela, we are watching 90 Day Fiancés Happily Ever After, the part 3 of the tell-all. And if you guys didn't see last week's part 2, just go watch my video real quick because it was crazy. But I'm gonna quickly just dive right into this episode. Last week we ended off with Angela and Michael's segment, and it got heated there towards the end, but we did not see the explosion quite yet. So we ended off with Michael telling Angela to go ahead and send him back home, and she tells him that is the last time he's gonna say that. And that goes into her daughter Chip Skyla saying that he just lies and lies and lies. He even lies about mopping the bathroom or mopping the floor, whatever.
He say he did something. Oh, I mopped the floor. Go in there, it's not mopped. Yes, I did.
Which I think it's funny that she brings up the cleaning thing, because when Michael moved in, they basically treated him like he was the maid of the house. Like, had him doing the laundry and everything. Like,
Angie, oh my goodness.
the house should have been clean before he even came. So it was kind of funny that she brought up like saying that, oh yeah, you didn't mop that floor. Now this is where Angela starts to try to milk out some tears and get some sympathy from the audience. She tells the audience that Michael is just a gaslighter. All he does is gaslight her. She just feels like she's crazy, and then says that she's worked her butt off as a grown meemaw, working 3 jobs just to go see him. And she basically just blames Michael for her being crazy, that he thinks that she's just crazy just because some cheating incident. Girl, you're crazy. We don't think, he doesn't think, we all know you are crazy. So then Michael says that all the things that he was saying to this lady, if it were true, if he was actually gonna leave Angela for her, he wouldn't be on that couch right now. But this sets her off. She starts going off.
Yeah, sure you would. I won't be right here right now.
Listen,
I have told you this.
You know what he tells me? I need the green card. We just
Because it's the
landed.
normal
We
process.
just landed.
And this goes into Angela saying she's been the only one fighting for this relationship. She's the only one in this marriage. And this whole beginning part was just so irritating. I was like, let's just get to the PI part. Come on. I just need to hear the PI. And then Sean asks Angela, your guys' relationship hasn't been good since he's gotten to America, which I'm pretty sure their relationship hasn't been good since even before that, but I digress. But she goes into how he's just ungrateful and that she even gets Botox for him, not for her.
I goddamn hate Botox. I do that not because I want to be young, like y'all think, because I don't want him walking around with a smoking ass wrinkled woman.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
You are though. The amount of videos of her out here wearing the craziest things, doing the craziest stuff at clubs, hitting on dudes. You know what, like, if we're really gonna be talking about the cheating thing, Michael, yeah, he's cheated, he's even admitted to it, but the things that Angela has done, even talking to that one dude on TikTok, and then didn't she get with her doctor? Like, there are so many things that Angela has done, and so many times that she's cheated in many more ways than just verbal, and she's going Looney Tunes on him. And then Sean asked the groundbreaking question that I was questioning so much in these last parts. If you've had problems with this dude for so long, why did you bring him down here? Why did you bring him down here? And she goes to say that she had an instinct to do it while she's in Aberjon, but for some reason she didn't do it. And then Ed passionately screams out, "Why did you bring him here? Why did you do this? Angela, why would you do this?"
Well, then why would you bring him here? Why would you do that?
And then she has the audacity to say, "Because I love him more than he loves me." I couldn't help but like laugh at these parts. And Ed is like, "You're torturing yourself, Angela. You're torturing yourself." And then she's like, I know, I hate myself." It's like, I couldn't help but laugh. I may be so messed up for laughing. I felt no empathy at all. Like, I didn't feel like a twinge of anything. This was just a comedy show. It was a whole skit to me. And then I hate how pretty much the whole stage is like, "Come on, Michael, you gotta try. Come on." Basically, like, feeling sympathetic for Angela. Like, have you guys been watching the same show? Have they been giving you the same show? Have you guys not been watching their story? Because if anybody has been watching their story, nobody would feel sympathetic for Angela whatsoever. I'm sure some of them may feel like, yeah, Michael did F up and he probably needs to like do something, but nobody would be feeling sympathetic for Angela. In my opinion anyway, other than Ed. But I mean, that's Ed. I mean, so now they go back and show a clip of when Angela finds out that Michael was in a group chat called Paradise Men. To be fair, that name is kind of suspicious. As we all know, he tried to explain it. You know, Michael can't explain anything. It goes sideways. But Sean actually lets him have his chance to explain what the group was about, why he was in it, why was he the administrator. He goes on to explain that he has tried to apply for a visa many times, the spousal, K1, all that, and he's got denied a lot. So he's basically in the group to stay on top of information. He's saying that there's always new updates and things in the embassy. So he basically is just in this group for information. Taise and Sophie both say that they were in groups very similar to this.
I was in a group chat like him.
You were in a group chat?
Yeah.
I was in a group with a bunch of British people who had spouses or partners in America, and it's a group to help. Like, if we had a question about the process, I'd be like, "Hey, what do I do on this section?"
Yeah.
And then, of course, Angela tries to put together some reason why to still be mad, even though now he still has a very understandable reason why he's in the group. She basically was like, "Oh, but you guys didn't do it behind your partner's back. You didn't become administrator or anything." And then Patrick was like, "Yeah, I was suspicious at first." And then she explained it, and then I felt better. So that's the part where Angela's missing. She doesn't let Michael explain things. She just goes from 1 to a billion because she starts overloading her head with her own thoughts. And she just wants him to be the bad guy so bad that she just freaks out. So finally, now we get to the point what we've all been waiting for. The PI. We need the answers. Did he dig up the juice? Here we find out that Michael didn't know that Angela hired this PI, which I think is probably pretty obvious. So now this PI comes out with a damn chapter book worth of information on this guy. Even had like graphs and stuff, like some weird link tree thing, not link tree, but you know, it was wild. Like, he had all this information. So before they even get into it, the PI tries to give him a chance to come out with some truths or some lies or whatever. Just try to speak his truth. And Michael says he has nothing. He has nothing to hide. He's not been lying. So the PI starts off and says that he has a lot of presence in social media and asks him how many Facebook accounts does he have. And this already makes Angela like, what the hell is going on? But Michael says he only has one, which is on Angela's phone. She's controlling it. So the PI just skips over that question and asks how many Instagram accounts does he have. But Michael says that he doesn't have any, and the PI said that he found 3, and Angela's like, you motherfucker. But Michael just says that it might just be imposters, it might just be impersonators. You know, people make fake accounts all the time. And then again, he says he only has a Facebook, which is on Angela's phone. And then the PI asks about the girl named Cheetah, and Michael says that he's just a girl that private messaged him, and all they talked about was the visa process because apparently her mom was going through it. And that's when Angela's like, what? You didn't say anything about a mother.
Her mother was applying for
Never
a
heard about her
K1
mother.
visa.
It was her husband,
Because
he said.
she
Never heard
was
about
it-
the mother. He didn't
Was it-
see this is something new to me, Todd.
Can
That ain't
I
what he
t-
told us,
let
is
me
it?
talk-
Did he say anything about that on the show? Because I don't remember that. And then Michael just goes on to explain that, again, he was just getting information about the visa process. They're just helping each other out. And then it was just that. Thank you, go on about their day. And then Angela says the most wackiest, weirdest, funniest. What she said wasn't funny, but the way she said, okay, just look at this.
I say, oh, thank you very much, for giving me the knowledge about it. That is it.
But
They
you ain't
asked me
supposed to be
questions.
talking to Cheetah or Tarzan.
Oh, you crazy.
So he can't talk to anybody, even if it's Tarzan? Tarzan? That is just so wild to me. Like, so she basically is saying that he can't talk to anybody. Not a single soul. Not even a man that was raised by monkeys. Like, so Michael, again, just explains himself. And then Angela says that Michael has a way with words. He's gonna convince you. He's convinced me. He convinced everybody. He's gonna convince the PI just like he's done everybody else. And Michael's like, that's your opinion, whatever. And Angela's like, all right, well, we'll listen to facts. We will listen to facts. Let's see if she listens to the facts. Here in a minute, let's see if she listens. Now Sean asks, does the PI have any information, anything in his entire investigation that makes him believe that Michael has been unfaithful with Angela? And the PI says that there's one woman that he's not entirely sure about. So he didn't say there was a woman that he was cheating on. He didn't say any of that. But Angela is still worked up. She's like, oh my God. Like, he just said there's one woman in particular he wasn't entirely sure about. He wasn't sure about the connection. So he, as a sane person, says, I want to give Michael a chance to explain himself. So he asks about this girl, what the connection is between them. PI says this is a woman he's known for a long time. And then he brings up a chart of all his social networks and who he's been talking to and everything. And I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at. So I highly doubt Angela know what the fuck she was looking at. She looked at it like, oh my God. What are you even looking at? What are you looking at? But Angela's like, how old is this woman? I want to know. Like, it even matters. Like,
And I know her family.
How old is she? That's what I want to know.
She's 36 or so.
I'm getting
Way
ready
back.
to snap.
like it even matters, because Michael already said she was just like a family friend. She's about to explode. She's getting closer to losing her top, dude. And hopefully not that top. We don't need another tell-all like that one time.
These brand new.
Stop it! What's all this?
But then Rob brings up an excellent point that with all the people and all the networks that are on that little graph thing that he has, the PI would have found something if he was truly scamming, he was truly being unfaithful. Out of all that, he would have found something. If he's truly good at his job anyway, it seems like he was. This dude wrote up a whole bibliography? His autobiography is about himself, right?
Are you dumb?
Why am I so dang dumb. Anyway, so he wrote a whole book about Michael. I'm sure he would have found something, right? So yeah, Rob brings up a good point. He would have found something. And Angela's ass. She basically insinuates that Michael is the scammer of all scammers.
Angela, I think if he was cheating or scamming, it would be very easy to just say that's
You
what
don't
it is.
know a Nigerian
I'm
like
just-
him.
I'm just waiting- I'm
He
just
is
waiting.
good at what he does. He's
That-
fooled me for
that
7 years.
chart-
Bob.
Which I'm thinking, if he was so great at scamming, why is he with you?
And
If he was that great of a scammer, trust and believe he would not be with you. Okay. Now we get to the segment where Angela feels like she has to stand and talk at people. But she's coming to deliver some hard-hitting information for Jasmine. But Jasmine stands her ground and tells her to get away from her. So but Angela's not listening to that. She gets right up to her and basically tells her that the woman that was talking to Michael and caught Michael was also trying to talk to Gino. And she has evidence of it.
Guys, can I pop
I know
your bubble?
people-
I'm getting ready to freak you the out. You know
Get
the girl,
away
wait,
from
listen,
me.
it's friendly.
No.
Do you know the girl he was cheating with? How about she was trying to get a hold of Gino? I didn't want to say that. You didn't answer. She was trying to get you. I got facts of it. He didn't answer her.
But
The
we
same
don't know
one
when
that
they
cheated with
talked.
Michael, she was after this
What
one.
girl?
And Michael
What
and listen, Jazz, Michael fell for it. Gino didn't.
Stop it. Get some help.
Which I would like to see. Let me see those receipts, because I just want to see. But apparently Gino didn't reply to her, which I don't know how Angela knows that. Now that I'm thinking about it, how does she know that? But Michael even says to Angela's daughter that she's taking it too far, which she really is. I don't know what she's trying to do right now, but she just needs to sit her ass down and get her segment over with. For real. Now Sean is just trying to get right to it like the rest of us. She straight up asks again, did you find anything in there? Anything with that woman? Anything with other women? Anything with anything? Anything with anyone? That would make you believe that Michael is cheating. And this dude says he has 160 pages on Michael, and there's not a single thing that makes him believe that he's cheating on Angela. Finally, Angela got her answer. So let's watch her apologize to her husband. Like, this is gonna be so monumental, guys.
To answer your question directly, no, there's not.
Okay.
Good.
Good.
I don't care.
She
I don't
won't
care.
care.
You should
She
talk.
won't
What
care.
did you even dare do? So tell me that.
And with that, Angela's done. She walks off the set. She tells Skyla to stay. She's getting her answers right now, and she's so mad that she's wrong. Wouldn't you want your husband not to, like, you wanted so bad for Michael to be cheating on you and scamming you?
What was the reason?
What logical sense does that make? Didn't you hire this guy to make sure that he wasn't? So maybe you guys can progress in your it doesn't make any sense. But Angela, she's not having it. She doesn't care what the PI has to say. And Rob is like, it doesn't matter what you think of this man, the PI has all the information. And then she flip-flops and it's like, that's not enough time. That was only 2 weeks of investigation. He ain't got it all.
But he's not better than the private investigator, though.
Because
and we can,
you know
we
why?
can
We
all.
didn't have enough time to get it all. This ain't, he ain't had enough time. This is 2 weeks investigation.
Which, you know, if this man straight up was like, yeah, he's cheating, he's scamming, she would have been like, yep, that's it right there, brother. She is just so mad and so pressed that Michael wasn't cheating and scamming her. And with that, Angela walks off the set and thankfully does not return. I think she actually might be back next to all now that I think about it, but at least for this episode, we don't have to see her ever again. And now that Angela is gone, Sean starts asking Skyla some stuff, and I feel like she's being legitimate and true now that her mom is not there to side punch her in the head. So Sean asks her, now that the PI has all this information, do you feel like your mom should trust Michael? And she straight up is like, yeah, she should trust him, but she does feel like she does need to leave him. Then Skyla goes into saying that there's no intimacy, there's no love or anything in the relationship. And Jasmine says that anytime she sees them two together, Michael's just sitting quietly while Angela is screaming her head off. And Skyla even even says, yeah, she has no patience. Now Ashley asks the next hard-hitting question. She asks the PI, did he find anything in his entire investigation, again, that makes him feel that he's scamming Angela? Not cheating, but scamming.
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of digging. That's pretty much his life that I've been able to uncover. I don't have anything. I don't have anything concrete that suggests, even implies that he is, you know, an unethical person in terms of a relationship.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
So there we go. The PI literally found nothing. He found one girl that turned out to be nothing. So, just like I said in the last haul, like, they weren't gonna find anything. There wasn't gonna be anything. But I already knew Angela was gonna go off. There was no way that Angela was going to, again, listen to the facts.
We're gonna go on facts here, opinions.
And Michael, I feel like this was him letting it all out. He basically says that he appreciates Angela, he does love her, but she does not let him talk. And it's affecting him mentally, which, understandable. The one person you want to talk to that shuts you down every single time and just yells over you, that would make you shut down. That would definitely affect you emotionally, mentally. Like, that's just not good for a relationship, and he is just tired of it. And with this, they let the PI and Skyla off and basically just wishes Michael the best of luck in his marriage. And you know what? I'm just gonna include some pictures of what he's looking like now, because we have not seen this man smile at all.
So beautiful, so elegant, just looking like a wow. So beautiful, so elegant, just looking like a wow.
Now that their whole segment is done, Skyla gets her little interview. She's basically thinking the same thing that Angela is, that he did trick Angela to get over here, and somehow he scammed her, scammed the system. We see the PI and Angela talking, and Angela asks the PI, has him and that girl been talking at all? And the PI says that he hasn't seen him talking to anybody, basically. Like, you have his Facebook. Now the PI has his interview, and he's basically just dumbfounded why Angela just won't take the information that he has.
But a concern that I have is how adamant she is about wanting to find a lie or something wrong in the report. It's almost like she's not willing to accept the truth.
I'm going to send his ass home.
Now the next couple that we get into is Taise and Patrick, and they start off hot, asking her the best questions, all the questions that we want to know. They ask about her boob job. They ask, like, does she like them? Why'd you get them? And everything. And she says that she likes them, but Patrick wanted them to be bigger. And not only does this dude want them to be bigger, he even showed her another female in a movie on the perfect size that he wants. And I don't know if that's normal or if I should feel dumb for feeling weird about that, but if I felt like my dude pulled up some chick and was like, this is what I want, right? I would be a little offended, unless she was straight up like, hey, I'm about to go get this boob job, tell me what I need. But I don't think she was wanting that. So Sean asks, since, you know, she just did that, is having more children off the table now. But Taise basically says that she's not ready to have any other kids, especially in this country, because she has nobody here other than Patrick. And Taise even says that she feels pressured by Patrick to have more kids because, again, he wants more kids. But she said she's basically not ready, like she doesn't want to do it anytime soon. Taise even says that she wants there to be like a 5+ year difference before she has another kid. I feel like for parents, once you get out of that diaper stage, would you really want to go back to the diaper stage? Like, I don't know, that's kind of hard. I don't know. 5 years seems like a pretty big gap. I feel like having kids closer together would be better because, you know, they like would grow up with each other. It'd be cool if they're like going to school together, things like that. Obviously, they don't have to be like back to back, but I feel like 5+ year differences, it's a little much. Maybe 5 is like the end, like that's as much as you should wait. Taise then asks, would he be sad if she didn't want to have any more kids? And he says, of course, that he'd be sad because, again, he wants more kids, especially a son. Then Kobe asked Patrick, did you guys have this conversation before you guys got together? And Patrick was like, yeah, we had this conversation. We went through how many kids we wanted, like if we wanted kids, all that. And he says that Taise said that she wanted 2 kids. And Taise is like, are you crazy?
I've always said I wanted more than one.
Okay, so what I said? How many kids I said? I didn't say, no. I said 2? Are you crazy?
So now they're both just sitting there looking puzzled as hell, like they don't know what each other are talking about. But then Taise does bring up a good point that Patrick does travel a lot for his job, so it would be like she's taking care of these babies on her own, like she's gonna have a second kid but then not have Patrick around. Then this goes into the conversation of if Taise trusts Patrick while he's traveling around. Sean asks her, like, do you trust him when he goes out of state for work? She kind of basically says like, yeah and no, since he's, I guess, lied in the past about some things here and there, that she doesn't fully trust him. And Patrick, in his defense, says that he always tells her where he's going, and if she ever needs anything, she has it. And then Sean basically interrupts that and says that this actually brings up a good conversation about sharing your location with your spouse. I would love to hear your guys' opinion on that. How do you guys feel about sharing your location with your spouse? Personally, I've never done it. Then again, I'm single as a flingle right now. I would share my location with you guys, but I'm scared of some of these internet people. But yeah, I've never shared my location with my partner, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, whoever. I've never shared my location before, but it was never really a conversation that was ever brought up either. So I don't know how I would feel if somebody asked for it. Like, I guess it would be all about context. I don't feel like it's that crazy of a thing, because especially I like to know like where the people I love are going to make sure they're safe. If anything happens, I know where they were. So like, very understandable if you want the location on for that. Like, I just want to make sure that you're safe. But some people out here are like a little crazy and they want location for other reasons. So, I think Taise mostly wants Patrick's location because she doesn't trust him, and I don't think that's a good reason to have somebody's location. If you don't trust him, if you don't trust that he's gonna be where he says that he's gonna be, why are you with this person? And then Manuel says that sharing your location is for toxic people, that if you don't trust your partner, again, why are you with them? Like, you shouldn't have to share your location because you don't trust them. And it's funny because Ashley is like, I'm tracking him, he's being tracked. Like, she just mouths it. But they try to just get past that conversation, and they bring out Patrick's brother, Gian. I'm probably gonna do that every single time. But when Gian comes in, Sean congratulates him on his engagement with his girlfriend Megan. I didn't know that he got engaged to her. Wait a minute. He proposed at the tunnel, didn't he? Wait, was that another dream?
It's whenever, it's like whenever it happens, you know what I'm saying? Because right now, baby.
Hey, what's going on down there?
But after all the greetings and whatnots, they get straight into it, and they show the clip where Patrick and Gian meet Taise's friends. And if you saw the show, we know Taise's friends basically grilled Patrick for kissing some girl, which Patrick said that information that she gave them was not true, that they weren't even together. So I don't know about that. And they say that John is a bad influence, which turns into her friends and Gian arguing, and he gets a drink thrown on him. But John gets defensive and basically is like, I came to your country and you guys are basically treating me like crap.
Maybe I went a little overboard. But you know what? This girl came all of a sudden and said, I'm a bad influence on my brother. Hell no. You must go down, bitch.
But Taise basically is just like, look at how you're talking. Like, this is crazy. But Kobe basically says Taise is probably the reason that all that stuff happened at that table.
I feel bad because Taise, you might have triggered this. Your friend never met John, didn't know anything about John. she only said the things that you fed her with.
And John slides in and, you know, he's ready to take a bullet for his brother. He's like, you know what? No, go ahead and blame me. I'll take the L. I'll save you, brother. I'll save you, brother. What kind of accent was I'll save you, brother. My accent game is not there. It's not there. But Taise just keeps complaining about John and says, like, look at how he talks to me. All he does is yell at me. To be fair, John just yells. That's just how he talks. He just yell talks. So I don't think he's yelling at you. He's just yelling. But then it's weird because she goes in to say that he doesn't talk to her. So does he yell at you? Or does he not talk to you? Which one is it? She says that when he comes to her house that he doesn't even say hi or anything like that, which I kind of feel is not true. He probably is just not saying hi in the way that she's wanting him to come and say hi. But with all this arguing back and forth, the one person that has just been sitting there not saying anything is Patrick. People start bringing up a good point, like, you aren't speaking up for your wife. I'm sure Taise is probably being dramatic about John not saying hello and just ignoring her, but there is sometimes you probably need to step in and be like, yo, don't talk to my wife like that, you know? But John and Taise just keep going back and forth, arguing. Taise is saying that he's disrespectful. He's saying that, like, they have nothing in common. Like, why is this even a conversation? Like, they just keep going back and forth, and Patrick is still just sitting there. Then Emily kind of whispers in and is like, hey, this is your time to, like, speak up, do something, like, this is the time. And then all of a sudden it pans over and Taise is crying and Patrick is still just sitting there. But then he asks, like, why are you crying? And she's like, because he doesn't say hi to me when he comes into the home. And I know it's like a bigger situation. I know it's not just because he doesn't say hi. I'm sure it's a lot more things. But I thought it was just funny that she was crying and just specifically said that. Like, that was the only thing that she was like bugging about. That would be crazy. But she's just crying, saying that he's disrespectful, that he doesn't say hi. And then Patrick's acting dumb, like, when does this happen? And she's like, it always happens all the time.
Come on, when has this happened?
What are you talking about? A lot of times.
You don't even like John.
Then Ed brings up a point which I hate to say, I kind of agreed with him. Ew. He basically asked Taise, like, has he sat down with John and had a conversation with him? And Patrick says that all the conversations that they need to say to each other go through him. And Ed said you should probably sit down and talk to him, like, you know, adult to adult. And Ed basically says that it's not Patrick's job to talk to John for you. But then Sophie says that it is, because that's his brother, which this is another thing I want to know your guys' opinion on. How do you feel about this? Because I feel like Taise is a grown woman. If she has a problem, she should say something. Does it matter if it's Patrick's family or not? Now, if Taise tried to sit down and talk to John, had like 1, 2, maybe 3 conversations and he wasn't getting it, then I would understand, but I highly doubt that that's the case. I feel like everything has always gone through Patrick. This just leads into more bickering between Taise and Patrick, just saying how they don't like each other, how they don't respect each other, and it's like literally the same thing over and over again. Finally, thankfully, Sean just gets off the subject and asks Taise if she has any plans to visit Brazil soon. Great news, Taise finally got her green card, so she's able to travel to Brazil on her own. She's able to go whenever she wants to go. They even have plans to go back this summer, which is pretty cool. Taise even says that she has a better support system in Brazil, and Sean asked would they ever move back to Brazil, and both Patrick and Taise are like, yeah, we would totally move back there, which I think would be great for both of them, because not only will Taise have the people around her that she loves, her support system, but that would also even give an opportunity for Patrick to have more children, because I mean, like, what excuse would Taise have now? You can definitely have babies now, because her excuse was that she wouldn't have Patrick, she wouldn't have anybody, she'd be doing it on her own. But now that she has her whole family, I mean, they should be able to get it done. And with that, that was the end of Taise and Patrick's segment, which I feel was more like Taise Taise and Jan segment, because god dang, they talked more than Patrick talked. The next couple that we get into is Rob and Sophie. Now Sean brings up that we saw them break up during the show. They have not been together, they were separated. So she asked them, have you guys been together? They do the same thing when people are asking them if they were being intimate. Like, no, you tell him, no, you tell him. It's like, come on, just say something. But Rob answers and says that they're not together. But Sophie does make sure to say that they are hanging out. Which, what are you guys doing? You guys are separated, but you're hanging out. You're not living together. You're on a verge of divorce. Like, figure it out. And Sean asks if they're living together. They're still not living together. I'm guessing she's still living with that girl that she was living with. And this is where Rob tells us that he's moving back to LA. And Sophie isn't too sure if she's going to be following along. So I don't know what they're really holding on to. If you guys aren't happy with each other and you're unsure if you even want to live in the same state. Sophie then brings up pretty much what everybody knows, that they bring out the worst in each other. Like, yeah, they might love each other, but they are not okay for each other. And Rob says basically what he's been saying this whole season, that he's a husband that's in the friend zone, essentially. And then, of course, Sean asks about their intimacy. I'm pretty sure from this beginning conversation, we kind of get the gist, but of course, you know, they have to ask. And of course, no intimacy. But then this girl does say that they do cuddle, they do hold hands.
That's weird.
Then Sophie goes into that they have two different love languages, that she likes words of affirmation. She wants to be called beautiful, she wants some reassurance, and he just doesn't do that, so it makes her feel crappy about herself. And then she brings up that one episode where she tells Rob that she wants more romance, you know, more dates, more things like that. That one time she gave it a chance and she came home and she saw that letter on the table, and it wasn't a love letter. Ooh, it was a chore list.
What is this?
That's just a list of things I think would be very helpful from you to help us cohabitate.
I thought it was gonna be like a love letter or something.
He said it wasn't a chore list. It was basically a list for her to clean her dishes, to clean up her makeup, to pick up her clothes, to flush her pee-pee. Then this goes into the conversation where Rob was complaining about her not flushing the toilet. And she's like, I do flush the toilet. And he's like, no, she do not. And then she clarifies a little bit more. When she goes to the bathroom in the middle of the night, if it's pee, she just pees and like doesn't flush, which makes sense. Like, everybody else here is also agreeing, like if I'm just going pee, it's the middle of the night, if there's other people sleeping around me, I'm not gonna flush the toilet because it'd be loud, waking everybody up. Like Ashley said, and I feel like everybody has learned this, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. I could understand if she was just taking ookers around the house and just leaving them floating around, but apparently it was just like a little pee-pee in the middle of the night. Like, you're tripping on that. But then we get into another good ass question from Ashley. I feel like she needs to be the host, because yeah, Sean is asking the questions, but she's not asking the question. But Ashley basically just asks Sophie, why did she break up with Rob? And then Rob even asks, like, and why are we still broken up? Rob says that he's basically done everything that she's asked, and every time he does what she asks, that she moves the goalpost, like she's asking for more and more things. And then she's basically like, no, you don't. You're either delusional or you're lying. Like, you have not.
At the end of the day, I've done everything that you've asked me to do, and then you have continually moved the goalpost.
You're either delusional or you're lying, and I think you're just delusional.
But then Rob brings up that he's been waiting around for like a year and a half. Like, what is he doing? Why would he be here? And then Sophie's just straight up is like, because you're delusional.
I wouldn't still be here a year and a half later if I'm just delusional and lying.
Actually, that might be why you're here.
You are delusional that she is coming back. I feel like she's just done. Like, for some reason, she's holding on to something, but there's no way. If they get back together, oh my goodness, that's crazy. After all this. Now Sean plays Rob a clip where Sophie is out with the girl that she has been living with. But long story short, the main thing they're focusing on this clip is that Sophie tells her friend that she has been intimate with women in the past, before Rob, she has been intimate with women, and she didn't tell Rob that.
When I first told Rob that I was bi, I didn't feel the need to get into detail of like what I have or haven't done with women. I just could see Rob making an issue out of it, which we already have so many issues. I just didn't want to add on top of that.
After they play that clip, Sean asked Rob, is that the first time you've heard her say that? Did you know that she's ever been intimate with women? He says no, he's never heard her say that. He didn't know that about her. But then Rob brings up that when she came out that she was bi, he asked her, like, have you ever been with women? And let's just be real, in a way she did lie, just because straight up say no or yeah, like a lie, like you only told bits, like you're hiding stuff is lying. You know, it's a form of lying. She knew the information that he wanted, but she made sure she was particular about the words that she said, because she even brings it up now that she said that she's never dated women, and she said that she was pretty adamant about saying that.
When I came out as bi, he said, have you ever been with a woman? I said, I've never dated a woman. That was my exact response.
So in a way, yeah, she lied to Rob about being with women. Basically, her excuse is that she thought Rob would have a follow-up question after if she's ever been with women. She thought he was going to be like, hey, have you been with women? And she was going to be like, no, I've only dated women. And then he was going to be like, hey, have you had schmecks with women? And she was going to be like, yeah, I had schmecks with women. So it's like, I guess she wanted him to like keep asking very specific questions, but it's like, come on, girl. She goes into saying that she is just so depressed, that he makes her so depressed, that she loves him, but she just feels crappy with him, around him, everything. And then she goes in to say that he can't be intimate with her unless she's dressed up every single time.
You can't have with your wife unless she's dressed up. How do you think that makes me feel? He wants me to be someone else.
We both know that is not true.
No.
But this just goes into Sophie basically saying that she did not lie, that he's a liar, he's a cheater, that he is the one that was talking to other women, and I guess talking to other women while he was in bed with her, which is
so disrespectful.
Why are you with him? Like, if this was happening, I don't understand most of these couples. You guys are going through such crappy things in your relationship, and then you still leave your country / bring somebody to your country, get married, and then freak out about the things that they were doing before you guys made all these big decisions. None of it makes sense. It's like I want to feel bad for some of these people, but at the same time, it's like, how do I feel bad like when you guys are making such a big decision, but before you guys made such a big decision, you had such horrible things happen to you? Like, I can't imagine leaving my whole country for a guy that I knew was cheating on me for 4 years straight. Like, I don't know about that one. With all this conversation, of course, they had to bring out Kay, aka the girl that Sophie has been living with. They bring Kay out hoping that maybe she would bring some information into this conversation. Now Kay comes out and Sean asks her, what do you think is like their biggest problem? What's like the root of the problem? And obviously what we all know, the communication, the lying, everything. She basically just says that their communication is horrible. They don't know how to talk to each other. And the next few things she says, I don't know, it just makes me, I don't know, I kind of looked at her a little weird after she said these things, but she basically was talking like she was somehow in the relationship. Like, she even slipped up and was like, we've been dealing with this. And it's like, you haven't been dealing with anything. Like, Sophie has just been talking to you. You should just be a friend that she can come to. You're not dealing with it. But then she goes to say that she's an empath, that she feels and yada yada.
When my friend is going through something, I'm an empath. I feel everything they feel. I feel their emotion. I feel when they're sad. I'm sad with them.
It's like, okay, I don't mean to make fun of people who feel like empathetic, of course. Like, I feel like if you're a sane person, like you
Today, Junior?
You're empathetic, like you have, like you feel that empath whatever for somebody else. Like I feel like you shouldn't have to say that. Like obviously if somebody you care about is sad, you're going to feel sad for them. If somebody you care about is happy, you're going to be happy with them. Like that is just a normal person thing to do. Like, but when people outright say I'm an empath, when they're sad, I'm sad, when they're crying, I'm crying, that stuff is so annoying to me. And she was going into it and I was like, girl, shut up. Kay has put herself into this relationship so damn much. She needs to understand that barrier. And honestly, yeah, some of it is her fault. Like as a person, you shouldn't put yourself into anybody's relationship. That's their relationship. But it's mostly Sophie's fault for letting Kay step in and say anything to Rob. Like she shouldn't be speaking to Rob whatsoever. I can't tell you how many times, well maybe not many, but there was like a few scenes where Kay is like going off on Rob, Rob's going off on Kay. Like why are they arguing? They're not together.
You're sitting here blaming her for this breakup when it's been you this whole time.
Whoa.
No, I am shaking because I am sick of you.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
Then we get into the real question. Sean asks if Kay is attracted to Sophie. And I want to know what you guys think. Because this whole show, I was like 100% sure that she was into Sophie. Just the things that she said, like, oh, I can take care of you better than he can. And like, just everything pointed to her being attracted to Sophie and wanting to be with Sophie. Maybe not like full on relationship, but you know, like something in some kind of way. But she straight up says that no, she is full on straight.
I want to clear something up. I'm 100% straight. I am very, very, very straight. I don't care if you don't believe me. I don't want... What am I going to do with some titties?
Guys, it's 3 in the morning and I'm having brain rot right now. We're almost done with the episode. We're getting there. I've been recording for 4 hours. But Kay just goes into saying that she let Sophie in because she's a good friend. Like, you should be that friend, which I completely agree with. If your friend is down and out, crashing out with their partner or whatever, they need a place to stay. Sure, you can stay at my place. You don't need to be staying at my place for a whole ass year, though, trying to figure out your relationship. You need to go figure that out. But Ed, again, butts in and says that she's biased against Rob, that she just thinks negative things of Rob, which... Again, I hate to go. I don't even want to say it, so you already know what I'm gonna say. I mean, yeah, she is. Of course, she has nothing good to say about Rob, like, at all. She basically hates this guy, so, and she's completely biased on him because she doesn't know anything but the bad of Rob. Maybe there is only bad, which would make no sense for Sophie to love a man that is all bad. But then again, if he did such crazy bad things for 4 years and she still married him, I don't know. But Kay is biased. She doesn't like Rob at all. She doesn't know any good parts of him. If he has any good parts to show, I don't know. But Sean asks Rob, like, how does he feel about the whole thing? Rob says that basically he has taken accountability, and Kay tries to interrupt him and be like, can I say something? And everybody's like, no, you can't. Can you, like, give him a chance? Let him talk? But Rob basically says that him and Sophie were, you know, in a rough patch in their marriage, and instead of Sophie fighting for the marriage, doing what you need to do, working on your relationship, she took the easy way out and just moved out with her friend instead of like making a decision, doing something. It's been a really long time. So I mean, I definitely know Rob is a player. He definitely was cheating, doing all those things, and he probably is sneaky, and this little whole thing that he's doing now is probably not truly him. He's probably playing it up a little bit, but the things that he's saying are very valid. Like, she did take the easy way out. Like, if you're going to marry this person, you need to figure it out. You guys aren't married anymore. You just need to divorce it and move on. Like, what are you holding on to? So yeah, she's basically just trying to be like, oh yeah, we're still married, because she wants to hold on to him, but also doesn't want to be with him, so she just lives in her best friend's house. But then people point out that Kay is kind of an enabler, like just taking care of Sophie, not letting Sophie be an adult. She denies it. She refuses it, but she even herself says that she picks up after her, she takes care of her, she does everything that she needs, even flushes her toilet, and Sophie loses it on the toilet thing. She's so upset that people are focusing on the toilet thing and not focusing on how Rob has been treating her like crap.
I'm sorry, but why is everyone like, the toilet?
The two meanest things.
It's so frustrating because you treat me like
The two
You
meanest.
treat me so bad, and he's worried about my bits and me flushing the toilet. Like, shut the up, bro.
And from here, she kind of just, she breaks, she cracks, and she is truly hurt. She basically is like, this guy has treated me like crap. He's not a good person, and you guys are tripping on a damn toilet right now. And she's just over it. But let me tell you, it's about to get so much worse. Oh my gosh. They definitely wanted them against each other or something, because they showed Rob that one clip and now they're about to show Sophie this clip. They wanted them to get divorced. they were just trying to push them along. They show Sophie the clip of when Rob goes out on his birthday, and there's this girl hanging all over him asking for his number and everything. And where Rob messed up here is, after this girl asked for his number, after calling him handsome, he should have just been like, listen lady, I'm married, I don't want anything to do with you, I'm sorry, I'm a whole married man, you go that way. But instead, he told her that the relationship was complicated, and then when she continued to keep coming out and like falling all over him, he kept being like, yeah boo, I'ma see you in there, I'ma see you in there. So it's like, what were you doing? What were you doing? You should have just straight up been like, no, I'm married. Thank you. No, thank you. Boy, he fucked up. Why can't you just stop talking to other women? Like, how is it that hard? You decided you wanted to get married to somebody, but for some reason you can't stop talking to other women. Why get married? Why have a girlfriend? Just talk to all these other women. Rob is conventionally an attractive man. You could obviously get women. Like, you were talking to a whole bunch of women apparently while you were with Sophie, so I just don't understand the appeal of wanting to be with somebody but then also wanting to be with everybody else, you know? I don't know. But after the clip plays, Sophie just sits there. Sean asks her, is that the first time she's seen that? And she just tells everybody that she needs a minute. She looks like she's just about to have a meltdown. Like, I feel bad for her, honestly, in this moment. Like I was saying, like, it's hard to feel bad for somebody that put themselves in this position, because you know this dude's a cheater. He was cheating on you for a long time with like a lot of people. But to think that he may change, and then to see him do this on TV physically with another woman, like, I can't imagine how she's feeling right now. So I do kind of feel bad for her right now. But Sophie says she just doesn't want to comment on this clip, so Emily brings it upon herself to get some information. Which, thank you. She asks, did you go back into the club? And he says that he went home alone, but yeah, he was at the club, so he did go back in. Boy, it's not looking good for you. It's not looking good for you. But then Kay questions him, like, if you do love Sophie, if you're married to Sophie, why are you talking to this girl? Like, why are you entertaining it even just a little bit, even if you didn't give out your number or anything like that? He says that Sophie said that he should just go find another woman, that he should just go be with somebody else, that she keeps saying that over and over again. So I guess he was kind of just leaning towards that. And Rob basically just says he was just enjoying the attention, that's it, because he hasn't been getting anything from Sophie, and he felt like he wouldn't be wrong because Sophie keeps telling him to go do that. Then Sophie all of a sudden snaps out of it and asks, did he get her details? He's like, no, I didn't get her number or anything. And then she asks for a third time, did you get her details? And he's like, no, I didn't get anything from her. And then all of a sudden she just drops a bomb.
Okay, did you get her details?
No.
So you never got her details?
No, I didn't get her number or anything.
You swear to me you never got her details?
Yeah.
That's you being truthful, yes?
Yeah.
I've seen that bitch on his Instagram.
Got him. We fucking got him.
When I tell you, when I saw this part, I like... Then he goes on to explain that she followed him, and since he met her, he followed her back, but that was it. There was nothing else.
She found me on Instagram. I followed back, yeah, because I did meet her, but that's as deep as it goes.
Which, I don't know how to feel here because technically, I mean... So, if we're going by her standards, Rob wasn't lying. If we're going by her standards anyway, because let's go back. She didn't tell him that she was intimate with women because he didn't specifically ask the question, were you intimate? Have you been with a woman in that way before? So, let's keep that in mind. She didn't tell him because he didn't ask that specific question. Now we come to here. She asked him when they were talking about the clip, when they were at the club, she asked him, did he get her details? When he was at the club, did he get her details? He said no. So, I mean, is he lying or is he not? By Sophie's standards, he's not lying because he didn't get her details. She got his details, technically. Technically, he's not lying. In Sophie's definition, anyway. But she still is like, nope, you're lying. I caught you in a lie. I got you. So it's like, what do you guys think? Then Ashley, again, asks some more groundbreaking questions. She really needs a hosting job somewhere on DLC because she's in it. But she basically asked Sophie, like, do you consider that cheating, like what you just saw? Instead of Sophie answering, she asked Ashley, how would you feel if some girl is calling Manuel hot? And Ashley's like, I don't care.
Sophie, do you consider that cheating, though? Like, real honest question. I don't know
if
I
Manuel went to a club and a girl was like, you're so handsome. Is that a trick question?
No.
But then she brings up a good point. No, I wouldn't consider that cheating. But also, I wouldn't move out on him for 9 months.
But I also wouldn't have moved out on him for 9 months either.
But it doesn't matter what anybody's saying. Sophie feels like he lied in that situation. But then Ashley brings up that Rob is waiting for you. He's willing to, do what he's got to do. So it's basically on you. Like, you're the one that moved out. The person that has to make the moves is you because Rob is waiting. And Sophie just goes into just more stuff about how Rob is just a bad person and a bad partner.
What are you doing?
For the love of God, just leave him. Like, there should not be this conversation with people over and over and over again why you shouldn't be with him. Just don't be with him. She goes into why they're not intimate, why she's not getting words of affirmation, why this, why that. And it's just, this whole thing is just why she doesn't want to be with Rob, but for some reason she's not letting go of him. But Sophie just goes on, and it gets to a point where she gets really emotional. She starts tearing up and is basically saying that she was just so depressed. That's also why the house was always so messy, because she basically just lived in the bed because she was just so sad because her marriage was not marriaging. And she said she had the support of her mom, but Rob was always stressed. And she said she understands why Rob was stressed because, it's hard bringing over somebody from another country, all the paperwork, all taking care of them, like being the sole provider. She understands that he was stressed, but she was depressed. But she finally says why she's been sticking around. She says she has been seeing some change in him, that he has been making an effort, so that's why she stays around. And then Sean asks Sophie if she's committed to making the relationship work. Kay is over here sobbing, crying her heart out with Sophie, just along with Sophie.
Bitch, where?
But Sophie finally is able to answer, and she says that she knows that they're not good for each other. Their relationship is just not it, and that Rob is a good guy, but them together is just toxicity. They're never going to mesh well. And Sean asks, with him hearing all that, like, how does he feel? And Rob says as long as she's willing to work it out, as long as she wants to do this, he's basically gonna be there. And Sean says with that she's basically just gonna shut this on down, because I don't think there's any more they really can go through. Sophie doesn't trust him. She's leaving the relationship in a stalemate. Rob is there trying to make it work, but I don't know if he's really doing the right things. It's like they really just need a divorce. It's really sad because you don't want to see love die, but they are fresh young blood love. And they're already not good. They're never going to be good. I'm sorry. It's just they just gotta divorce and move on with their lives. And with that was the end of the tell-all. And now it's mansion time. And the minute they cut it, Rob and Sophie just start going at it.
And you're very, very fake and calculated. You've been a
You don't see it. I have not. I was an ass 2 years ago.
If you killed someone a year and a half ago, are you no longer a
I
murderer?
didn't kill anyone, Sophie.
It's a dramatic
I did not kill
example.
anyone. The effort since
The
should.
effort is nothing. The
All right,
effort
then,
is
why do you
nada.
even keep talking
Effort
to me?
is nil.
Now all of them finally pile all up into the buses and head back home. Let me tell you, the conversation about Rob and Sophie does not stop, because once they get home they continue to talk about them. But let's forget about all the drama and let's go see if Sophie flushes her toilet. So everybody gathers around. Thankfully, before Rob and Sophie get home, they all gather around and run off to their toilet to check to see if their toilet is flushed. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise!
There's nothing in the toilet. But I would like to bring up one thing. That toilet seat is up, brother. I don't know if she has a problem with that, but I feel like a lot of the time, especially in the middle of the night, like you're not flipping on the light, looking everywhere. You're still trying to like stay asleep. Like you're like walking in with your eyes closed, feeling around for stuff. And with that toilet seat up, if you don't know, and if it's in the middle of the night, your butt is falling straight into that toilet. So I don't know how she feels about him putting down the toilet, if she's ever asked him to do that, put down the toilet seat. But I feel like if he's so pressed about her flushing, he should be putting down the toilet seat. Like we should just all have common courtesy toilet rules if you're that pressed about it, you know? But people decide to start taking this party on outside, and they all get on their bathing suits and get into the hot tub. And let me tell you, this hot tub is a tiny. Well, it's a pretty decent sized hot tub, but for the amount of people living in this house and for the amount of people trying to climb into this hot tub, it's not big enough for all you guys. I'm sorry. Ed, Liz, and Ashley are already all in there, and Taise and Patrick decide to climb on in. And of course, Ed has to be a weirdo and ask Taise if she has any single sisters. Nobody has a single sister for you, Ed. None of us. We're all single sisterless. Then this is where we learn that Jan actually came to the mansion tonight, which is pretty cool that they're inviting the other people to come on. I'm so glad they didn't invite Kay to come over, because that probably would have been a whole scene. Could you imagine having Skyla come over?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Yeah, to the no.
Oh my god, I feel like when Angela has people backing her, she just... But then we go back out to the hot tub and Rob climbs on in, and they all basically just say that if they're gonna work it out, Sophie needs to move on home, and that her roommate is basically just not good for her in a way. Yeah, it's good to have a friend, but the way that Kay handles a lot of that situation, she does not need to be in the relationship like that at all. So they agree that she needs to get out of that house if her and Rob's relationship is going to go anywhere. But instead of talking about Sophie and Rob, Taise calls out Ed and is like, why did you tell me I need to grow up? I'm a mom, I'm grown. Why'd you have to say any of that? And Ed just basically says that you're a grown woman, you should be able to talk to John. And they just keep bickering back and forth about that situation until Taise is like, why do you have to talk to women like that? What's your problem? And she gives him the craziest eye. Taise just calls Ed fake, and then Ed is like, not one of you motherfuckers came to my defense.
You are fake, talking behind people's back and not say be fake.
Did one of you mother come to my defense? Not one of you.
You are mother. You are. I was the
And with that, Taise is done with the hot tub and she climbs on out, and Patrick follows right behind her, which, again, he didn't say anything the whole time. You got small Ed over here talking all kinds of crazy to your wife. He wasn't talking crazy at her, but again, yeah, still kind of talking crazy, and he just sits there not saying anything. Now, on a little latter moment, we get a cute little funny moment between Jasmine, Gino, and Jan.
We are the Hat Brothers.
Let me see your head.
Wow.
Oh, you're bald.
Oh, well, yeah.
And you're okay with it? You need to talk to Gina.
I figured I'd sprinkle that in to give you guys a little bit of a drama break, even though we're pretty much towards the end at this point. But to wrap up this little part really quickly, Taise and Jan are basically still just going at it, saying that they don't say hi to each other when they come in and yada yada this, yada yada that. And Kobe is like, you know what? Shut up. Well, obviously he didn't say shut up, but he's just like, you know, you guys are brother and sister essentially, like just love each other, like give each other a hug. Come on, let's get this done. We learned that they've actually never given each other a hug, so I mean, I guess this is the perfect time to. And eventually after some bickering, they finally give each other a hug and a hello. But now we go back to the hot tub, and Liz tells Rob and Sophie that they're the hottest couple and that they might actually be able to work this out. And then she's just straight up with it and says that a lot of people think that her friend Kay is a homewrecker, like she doesn't need to be living with her. But Ashley is just trying to talk some sense into Sophie, basically like, if you guys were like working through this, you wouldn't have been gone for like 9 months. Everybody just still saying the same thing over and over again, and Rob just looks over it. But then Sophie brings up the cheating thing again. She's like, well, he shouldn't have cheated. And it's like, this dude cheated way before you guys got married. If that's what you're freaking out on, you should have never married him. This is your fault. No, I'm just kidding. But like, seriously, it's like, if you're still stuck on that, why did you get married to him? Because it's not like anything changed between then. It wasn't like for a moment when you guys got married, like you had amnesia and forgot that he cheated on you. And she even said when she got to America, to her knowledge, the cheating stopped. But this goes into Sophie saying that she has voice notes of Rob saying that he basically has been like, let me take you out to dinner, I wanna F you, let's get together, baby. Like, she has voice notes.
He was texting bitches, I wanna you.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you was.
No, I wasn't.
I showed it to you.
No, I wasn't.
Here, I have a voice note of his voice.
You have a voice note of me saying,
if you're in LA, come meet me.
That is a
Let me see the receipts. Because you can't just be saying stuff without the receipts, and if you say you have it, let's see it. Sadly, she does not pull it out, so I mean, I can only take this with a grain of salt. I mean, yeah, he is a cheater, and I mean, good chance he did do this because he was cheating, but again, you can't say that without any receipts. And this argument just keeps escalating, and Jasmine freshly comes into this argument. She just comes into the argument and is like, whoa, what's happening here? And thankfully she puts her body in between them because it's like, it just escalated so fast for no reason. But that's where they end this episode, with Sophie yelling that she has the receipts. So we're not going to see those this episode, sadly, but hopefully maybe next episode. So let's look into the previews really quickly. We see everybody at the tell, and they point out Rob and Sophie sitting in different seats, and Jasmine straight up said that Sophie that morning said that she was going to divorce him, and that's it, that she was done. So let's see what happens there. And then the next preview we see is somebody finally calling out Angela, and thankfully it's Kobe, because I feel like he can do it in a manner, I feel like he can do it in a manner where Angela isn't gonna freak out, but I feel like Angela would freak out on anybody that has any disagreement with her. So, and then it looks like next episode we get to see Ashley and Manuel segment, and they pinpoint on if Manuel is stashing / hiding money around the house, which I think he might be, but I don't think it's going to be as serious as I always make the previews seem to be. Like I was saying, like the PI thing, he didn't find anything. I don't think Manuel is like hiding money to like escape or anything. So I think that's just going to be another nothing bomb. Then it also looks like we get to see Lauren and Alexi segment. And right after their segment, after the tell-all is done, I guess they just leave. And some people are pretty salty about that. Taise and Sophie even say that like they straight up just don't like her because she's like fake and two-faced and she just talks crap about everybody. So when they're going to leave, they actually like point out like, you're just gonna leave after your segment? Like, that's hella weird.
Because you're leaving after your segment, and I don't really think that's fair.
So get on a flight and go home.
But that was the end of part 3 of the tell-all, and I appreciate every single person that stayed to the end, because I know this video was probably unbearable to watch. From the lighting to the voice, to be like having to Frankenstein patch this video together, because some parts of my video, I had to make 2 separate videos, basically redoing the whole video, and I have to like patch it together because it's like some parts were like corrupted, and I don't know what's going on. It's now 4:30 in the morning and I am burnt out. I'm so tired, but again, I appreciate every single one of you guys for coming and watching, even if you only watched 30 seconds in the beginning and then somehow rewound to this perfect spot. I appreciate you. But honestly, if you guys stayed for this long and you watched this crap show of a video, you might as well like and subscribe, because I feel like my other videos are a little bit better. Maybe not by much, but they are better than this one at least. So you will get something better, I promise. But again, thank you guys for coming and watching, and you guys have a beautiful day. Bye.